This video we gotta be quiet, we gotta be super duper quiet. Before we begin, you have to subscribe. If you don't subscribe, they're gonna find and catch us. So quickly, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and maybe we can get away with this together. So we're cracking a code right now. No one can hear us. We need to hear the dial, the tick. Oh, there it is. Okay, next one. Oh, there we go. You hear that? You hear that difference? That's us cracking a safe. Shh. One more and we get the gold. Oh, you gotta be patient. It's very, very subtle. Here we go. We're in! Hey guys, and welcome to the show. So today we're going to be creating and cracking a combination lock. This is very exciting. I just thought of this randomly. I think I was watching some Let's Play video and they had some combination elements, and I was really excited about recreating that kind of mini-game concept inside GameMaker Studio too. So there's certain things that we've already got here in our blank project. We've got the dial itself and the indicator. So we're going to draw the indicator on top of the dial at the 0 position. It's very important that these intervals are as accurate as possible in your sprite, because each one is going to be a degree on the 360 degrees. So the more accurate our image is, easier it's going to be to calculate where exactly the dial is pointing. Next up we have some sounds. We've got the normal sound. We've got the match sound, which is just a slightly higher pitch. I know that if you're in a bit of a quiet room, there's actually quite a difference between them. So you can change the difficulty of this game by altering the pitch of S&D match to make it as subtle as you possibly want. And then we have the amazing unlock sound effect. Oh, I love that one. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and create our dial object. Object dial. This video might be a little longer than some of my other ones. There's a lot to do. Let's see how we can get through it as quickly as possible. I don't actually want to turn this into multiple pieces, and if we do turn this into multiple pieces, it'll be because we're adding extra elements. Okay, so create event. Certain things we need to set up here. First, degrees equals 3.6. Now this is going to be the increment. When we tap the left and right arrow keys, it's going to be increasing by 3.6 degrees. That's how we rotate the image and also calculate which value we're actually on. Our image angle is going to be equal to 0. Don't really need to set this, it is default to 0, but let's just put it at that anyway. Our next is also 0. I'll show you what that is in a second. We're going to use ds_list for this. Two lists, in fact. One is going to be the values list, so this is the values the user is choosing, and the second one is going to be the matches list. On create, we're going to be randomly generating 3 sets of numbers. They're going to go into the matches ds list, and we're going to try match our values ds list to that matches ds list, and that's how we know when we've opened the safe. I'm going to be placing this object in the center of the room. I think that's appropriate. It's fairly large, so it'll take up a lot of the screen. Something called delay. Now this is quite important. When I was putting this video together, it's very easy when using the left and right pressed buttons to just spin that that object around really quick. 3.6 degrees is quite fast. So in actual fact, what we're going to be doing is incorporating a delay, which is going to add a split-second interval between when we can and can't rotate, just to make it a little bit more realistic, also easier to determine the difference between the sounds, because it's going to be very hard to select left and right on a very small single-digit increment if this is moving too quickly. Then we need unlocked set to false, because we want that kind of ending to be quite theatrical. You know, the big sound. We don't want the user to be playing around with the dial while that's happening. I mean, that's not very great. So as soon as we unlock it, we're going to set this to true, which is going to disable all user input. Let's go ahead and populate the matches list. Now to do this, I'm going to set a temporary variable called found to 0. We're going to say while found is less than 3. While loops can be quite dangerous, so it's a good idea that we ensure that this won't create an infinite loop situation, and we have to increment found by 1 on each iteration, otherwise it will go on forever. Number equals irandom, 0 to 99, including 0 and 99. And here we're going to say if ds list find index matches number equals -1. If it's -1, therefore not found already in the matches list, then I'm going to say ds list add to the matches list at the position number. Let's actually change this to n. That's nice. Shorthand over there. Also, if found plus, that means that we've found a value that's suitable for our correct set. Okay, so let's go and actually add a draw event. I think what we need to do next is obviously draw self, because we can have a lot of stuff in here. I want to draw the indicator sprite. Needs to be the 0 subimage at xy minus, I think I calculated this at sprite height divided by 2 minus 10. It was right there at the top. Really neat. Then I'm going to say draw set color, C white. We're going to be drawing some sort of HUD. And let's put this at 1010, top left. And here I'm going to say for each possible value, say 3 of them. We also need to make sure that if it's less than 10, so it's 1 to 9 or 0 to 9, we're going to draw it with a leading 0. Because while this is a 6-digit combination, it's actually 3 double digits together. You know, the dial goes from 0 to 99. Therefore, 0 to 9 is actually 0, you know, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, and also 0, 0. So draw text, let's say XX, YY, that leading 0. And because we are doing string concatenation, we need to convert list find value. You can use arrays if you want. I'm just using ds list. It's easy to add and remove values and replace them too. So that's quite neat. Let's let it do all the heavy lifting for us. Okay, otherwise we are just going to draw these values. We're just going to draw it without the leading 0. We can get rid of the string, get rid of that, straight up just values. And I need to do xx plus equals 30 to give it some space between the horizontals. And another cool thing that I'm going to do, which you don't necessarily need, well, I mean, it's probably a good idea to let the user know exactly where they're pointing, or which of the 3 combos they are dealing with. I'm going to draw a little line underneath each one. So if it's the first 0, 0, the first set, it's going to be a line under there. For the second one, it's going to be the line under the middle, and the third, the line under the last. So we got 5, 33, 29, 33. Else if index equals 1, we can just end up with an else over here. Copy these 2, there we go. So this one goes up by 30, so it's 35, 33, 59, 33, and then the last one is 65, 33, 89, 33. Very good. Now we also want to say if the safe is unlocked. I mean, we're going to be playing the massive sound, but let's just draw some text to the screen. Also, draw set, I want to do the alignment to FA center, and draw text room width divided by 2, room height, let's do -50, so it's towards the center at the bottom. We're going to say success, vault door opened. Well done. Neat. So that'll draw, our current combination, what we've chosen. Leading zeros if appropriate. If we unlock, it's going to say a nice little message, and we're also drawing a little line underneath each set of the combination to know exactly where we are when we're changing. Obviously, when you do switch between them, it will change as you move the dial, but it's always nice to just see. Okay, so now the action. We're going to be manipulating the dial using the key down left and key down right. So let's go key down left over here, and I'm going to add key down right while we're at it. I'm not using key pressed because otherwise you got to tap each time. Let's just let it kind of spin a bit. If we're holding it down, there will be the delay, so we don't have to worry about it going too fast. So if we're not on a delay and we haven't unlocked the safe, let's image index plus equals degrees. And here I'm going to incorporate a script which is going to expand on the code in this block. So it's not a function that's going to return a value per se. It's going to be manipulating all the properties of the object dial. Let's call it handle orientation. I'm doing this because there's a lot of borrowed code here and I don't want to repeat it. So let's put this into the right. Remember to minus equal degrees for the right hand side, and let's create that script. Image angle is going to be image angle. We're going to mod it by 360 because we don't actually want it going over 360 degrees. Because if we keep rotating and incrementing and decrementing this degree, the image angle by degrees, you're going to get a negative and a positive number that's greater than 360 or less than negative 360. So let's make sure that we constrain that to 360. I'm going to say if image angle is less than 0, image angle plus equals 360. If image angle equals 100, image angle equals 0. So that just assists with ensuring that we're constrained. Okay, so here we go. What we're going to do is on every key press or rotation or execution of this script, we need to say ds list find index on the matches list. So this is the list of the actual values that unlock the safe. I need to round the image angle divided by degrees. This is kind of the algorithm to find out what the exact value is that we're pointing at. And what this is saying is if the value that we're pointing at here, which is this guy, if it exists inside the matches DS list, then, at this index, also that's very important to know, at this index, which I think we start at 0, there it is, we're going to be playing the match sound. Audio, play sound, SMD match at 100, loop false. So that's going to tell the user, ooh, this is good. You've actually stumbled upon the correct combination value or double-digit value for that index. Otherwise, we can play normal. All right. And every time we actually rotate or interact with the left key down button, we're going to be replacing the value at this index of our current selected values. So remember, we don't manipulate matches in any way. That's set when the game loads, that never changes, but every time we interact with our dial, we use ds-list replace to replace inside the values ds-list at the index this round value over here, which is our new selected value for this position. We want to now delay for a little split second and ensure that that delay is reset at a certain time, in this case 0.08. If you want the delay to be greater, just increase this value over here. So it's 1/8 of a second. Let's go and create that alarm to reset it. Alarm 0. Here we're going to say delay equals false, very small reset over there. And let's see, where were we? Left and right, they're both are done now. Again, do note that left increases by degrees, by right decreases by degrees over there. And the handle orientation manages the rounding of that value because we're dealing with, again, the circle and the degrees of the circle. and converting that to a whole value. This is why the accuracy of this sprite is very important. You'll notice that even with a very fairly accurate dial, that as the user rotates in one direction, the rounding gets more and more inaccurate, so you'll find that it might be on like the 1, but it'll say 0. But it's going to happen maybe after the 10th or 11th rotation in the same direction, because remember, whether it's rotating left and right, those are auto-correcting as best as they can by the handle orientation script. I think it's good enough for this example, but you can tweak with that some more if you want. Alright, so the last thing we actually have to do here is add an enter pressed. So we're going to say key pressed, enter key. This is going to be confirming our value that we've chosen and also proceeding to the next index, but only so long as we're unlocked. Let's increment index by 1. Here we're going to say, well, if index is greater than 2, then index is going to set back to 0, so it's going to wrap around. You know, it's the first one, it's the second one, it hits the third one. So once you're on the third one, you click enter, it's going to go back to that first index, which is the 0 over here. Now we're going to create a simple equality check. You can go into, there's some algorithms out there to determine if two DS lists are the same. I thought it was overcomplicating because we only have 3 elements, and it's always known to be 3 elements, because remember, when we even create the, actually we don't have that, do we? That's something I forgot. After our values, we're actually supposed to say DS list add to the values 0, 0, 0. Sorry, I forgot about that. We always know that there's 3 values in this values list. There's 3 values in each of them. As you can see here, there's 3 values, here there's 3 values. So we don't need anything super complicated to determine if there's equality. We can just say, does the first one equal the first one of each, the second one equal the second one of each, and the third one. That kind of thing. DS list find value, and I'm going to say between matches and 0 equals DS list find value between that's values 0. Do I have enough brackets? I do. And over there, and let's copy paste this. Whoopsie, wrong place. There and there, and we change this to 1, 2, 1, 2. So there we go. We're saying equal is, I'm actually going to indent this by a bit. If the first element matches the first element, if the second element matches the second element, if the third element matches the third element. Remember, we're 0 index based, so there we go. And here I'm going to say if equal unlocked equals true, and audio play sound SND unlock, that's the very exciting unlock sound, no loop, full priority. And here we're going to say equal, this should work, you know, Boolean and whatnot. You can get rid of this and just put this all inside your if check, that's up to you. And before we forget, we actually need to go and place this dial in our room. Let's go over there. Remember, it's going to randomly, well, not randomly, it's going to automatically place it in the center, so we don't have to be too exact with that. That looks pretty center actually. But anyway, now the question is, will this work? I mean, we typed in a pretty substantial amount of code. I'd be super thrilled if we got it to work immediately after typing all this stuff. That'd be pretty cool. But you know from past videos, it might not work out. In that case, we'll have to just debug. Let's see what happens. Okay, so one thing, we're not exactly centered here, which is kind of off. Let's go back to our dial, create event, let's see. That's the problem, it's supposed to be Y. Let's go back in. Okay, that looks pretty centered. Here we have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. We're on the 0, we're on the first index. Okay, so our dial's not spinning at all. Our sound is working. If I push enter? Enter does work. Okay, that's neat. We can fix this. Now this is a tricky one. I think it's a better idea if we just go through all of these to determine what is going on. Index, matches. I mean, this seems okay. I think for an added benefit in our draw event, let's actually draw what the real no, let's not draw the real combination. If that is for losers, we'll do that later. Let's keep going. What does this say? Image. Oh, this is supposed to be angle. Well, oh, whoopsie. I wonder if I've done this. Yeah, okay, that's my bad. That's supposed to be image angle minus equals degrees. That makes way more sense, obviously. Let's try this now. Okay, let's see. So enter works. Left. Ah! Oh, we are in the money there. Okay, cool. Let's do this. If I do enter. There we go, and it goes back to first. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, so let's listen for... Oh! There we go. Next one. This one's right at the end. Oh! That's it. Last one now. That was really quick. There it is. Ah, neat. We found it right over there. Oh, this actually jumped a bit to the left. I know exactly why it's doing that. Let's go add some extra little added benefits over here. I actually want to say the default draw alignment. Draw set horizontal line is going to be FA left, I think. Because we changed to FA center over here and then it resets it for the next draw. Then also over here for the easy weenie mode, let's quickly just let's draw what the answer is, just to be sure that when the game is reloading it's a completely different set each time. Let's put it on the far right, top right that is, and then for every item in this DS list of matches, let's go ahead and say, oh, we can actually copy this. Yes, we can. Let's copy all of that, paste it in here, and instead of values, we're looking at matches. Come on, give me a copy. And I think that's it. Yeah, that should draw it. So let's go play. Okay, so it says our combination is 88, 82, 80. Look how close that is to each other. Let's actually go again. 92, 44, 54. Yeah, it is random. And we do randomize, so it means every time we run this, it's going to be completely different. We won't have the same set of values each randomization attempt. There we go, 72, so that matches up. 19. There we go. And we're in. So hope you found the tutorial educational and helpful. Please feel free to comment, rate, and wait a second, what's that? Oh, they found us. They're onto us. Okay, quick. In the description, there's the link to the project files. If you want to see videos just like this, check out my Patreon campaign. I really do appreciate the support, but now I've got to run. Until next time, happy coding, and I'll see you then.